Okay, so now I'm going to have an overall go at the main object, the West Pier, which you've got used to now. I do hope that you've really enjoyed it so far. I'm going to just go over this main object with some dark paint, which is basically it's blue and red. But I've cheated a little bit. I'm just using burnt umber and Prussian blue mixed together. Like, there's always a temptation to use black. There is the odd occasion where black's really useful. So all the rules, if you've read about, there's rules about not using this and doing that and doing the other. They can all be broken, okay? There are no hard and fast rules about painting. The thing is with the primary colours, if you mix them correctly, you can get your darks and all the darks and lights you need, really. As long as you've got white, of course, which you know. So I've got this dark, and it's like ultramarine and burnt umber. So, but it's but normally what I would use, but Prussian blue is another colour I just happen to have, and burnt umber, because it's just this. It's just a bit darker, and that's kind of what I want. So I'm going to work from the top to the bottom, and I'm going to still stay fairly loose. I'm not going to use loads of water because it's like, I don't need to. Can you see the, and also I'm not going to labour the paint on to try and cover up what I've already done. I'm going to use what I've already done to add, and lots of thin strokes here. So the dark gives it some sort of dimension, a bit of dimension in the top part and the bottom part of the structure. So here, I'm going to put a line across here, and then I'm just with the back end of my brush, I'm just going to marks across here. And what that is, it's like part of the framework. It just adds a bit of texture to the, unlike to the framework. It's quite subtle, you may not even be able to see it. And I'm going to do, so I'm just going to get a bit more of this. Like I say, I don't need loads of water. Same approach, just marks with the edge of the brush. Just to make the image a little bit stronger. And then I'm going to, again, put quite a lot of paint there, and then I'm going to mark it again. And what happens is this mark with the back end of your brush, going to go across this way, and it's this particular, and then crossways this way, because there's sort of like a, it just gives it this little bit of texture, really. So next layer, same sort of thing, down, 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 down. Lots of down marks, and you can drag some of the paint that's on the layer that you've just put above there, or I've just put above there. Fairly loose. And this is going to have the most paint on it, this layer down here. It's sort of, and again, I'm going to to scratch some marks. Might even just put a bit, just with a bit of white across there, rub it with my finger, just to give it this there we go. It's that light really shining on. And then finally, this bottom layer. Tidy these up in a minute. Just space out these darker marks. We don't need them, we just need thin marks at the end because it's this part of the structure isn't this has got, so what we're trying to achieve here is an illusion really. So we've still got, so let's just rinse our brush here, and now I'm just going to get another brush. Doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it's sort of kind of clean. And then we're just going to go around the bottom of these, where we just put these marks. Sorry, it's difficult to explain what I'm doing really. Like I say, it's a bit tricky to explain what I'm doing, but what I'm trying to do is I'm getting this down and across. I'm marrying the two together, so I'm getting sort of like a kind of reflection. It's sort of a bit like a reflection, but it's what it's doing is the movement is suggesting that these bits go right down to the bottom of the sea without me having to have them down to the bottom of the sea. So it's picking up some of these marks we've just made, down, 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 as it's drier, and then brushing it in there, and it just gives it this and again we can just brush around it like this. And what it's doing really, it's just because we've got enough paint on here now, it's bringing the pier into the sea, as it were. It's like we're planting it like a tree. Most of the paint is dry, but there's bits that you just put on here that's still got a bit of life in. And you get these like different shiny bits there. So it just makes it more, it's a nice dark, I'm just going to go around behind, carry on talking to you. So have a look. Yeah, so you can sort of kind of see the reflective bits in there. There is more work that I can do. Like I say, what I will probably do is do some work in oil paint on top of it. I'm happy that's a basic structure. All that is 3 layers of paint, yeah? 3 on there, 3 on there, 3 on there. That's 3 layers of paint. Generally, when I'm doing like Leonard Cohen, 20 or 30 layers of paint, and that's like be 3 or 4 layers of an acrylic, and then like on his face in particular, maybe another 20 or 30 layers of paint to get to that point where I'm being able to move the paint around and get this sort of effects and shadows and shading that I need. That's what it takes to do a painting. So it's not something that you can just do in a couple of, it's, you know, the way you make it work is just exactly the same process that I've been showing you. It's not magic. It's just like not giving in until you get what you want. So I look at this image. I've drawn, like I say, I've painted the West Pier a few times, and every time it's different. This is like quite bold. It's very bold, a very bold image. It's just like got its own character. And I'm going to let it dry. And then there's one more video to go. And we'll just go over the whole shebang. Maybe I'll just do a little bit more finishing work on the whole image. Just put some little dashes and dots. It's like do the punctuation for the painting, if you like. And we'll be there. So thank you very much.